This station is designed to test a candidate's ability to provide spinal immobilization on a patient using a long spine immobilization device. An additional rescuer will assist with this station. Candidates have 10 minutes to complete the station.
Managing a patient with a possible spinal injury who is found in a supine position requires you to maintain the head in a neutral position and avoid any excessive movement while applying the cervical collar and log rolling the patient onto a backboard. Work with your partner to roll the patient on your command.
The station will have the equipment necessary to successfully immobilize a supine patient with a possible spinal injury. This equipment includes a cervical collar, long spine immobilization device, head immobilizer, and medical exam gloves as part of the necessary personal protective equipment. There are 5 main sections of this station: neutral alignment and manual stabilization of the head, assessment of motor, sensory, and distal circulatory functions, application of the correct sized cervical collar, application of the spinal immobilization device, and reassessment of motor, sensory, and distal circulatory functions.
This station is the spinal immobilization station for a supine patient. You've had a chance to check your equipment. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, you may begin.
Okay, we're going to take body substance isolation precautions. I'm going to direct my partner to move the head to neutral position and maintain stabilization. Okay, I'm going to check his pulses. I have pulses. Can you feel me touching your hands?
Yes.
Move your fingers, please. Okay, check his feet. We have distal pulses. Can you move your toes? Can you feel me touching?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, we move back up. We are going to measure for a collar. Find the appropriate collar that will fit. Work in conjunction with my partner to apply the collar. Okay. At this point, we are going to roll the patient onto his side. On your count, we'll roll the patient.
1, 2, 3.
We're going to inspect the back. We don't find anything, we'll move the board into place. And we'll move the patient down.
1, 2, 3.
And we'll move the patient up and down, keeping him in line as much as we can to get him in place on the board.
1, 2, 3. One, two, three.
Okay, at this point the patient's immobilized. Going to check pulses. Can you move your fingers? Can you feel me touching? I'm checking his distal pulses. Can you move your toes? Can you feel me touching?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, we're going to prepare the patient for transportation, and we have completed the station.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Begin the station by indicating that the proper personal protective equipment is being used. Direct the second rescuer to stabilize the patient's head. This requires the rescuer to place the patient's head in a neutral position. Assess motor, sensory, and distal circulatory function in the extremities. Measure and apply an appropriately sized cervical collar to the patient. Position the device alongside the patient. Log roll the patient onto one side and slide the device against the patient's body. Log roll the patient onto the device. Pad any voids between the torso and the device. Secure the patient's body to the device. Secure the patient's head to the device to ensure neutral alignment. Reassess motor, sensory, and distal circulatory function. Remember to direct your partner throughout each step. Maintain neutral head alignment. Log roll the patient carefully to avoid movement. Make certain the cervical collar fits properly. And secure the device without excessive manipulation of the patient. The examiner checks the candidate's performance against the critical criteria for the station. There are numerous critical criteria for this station that would have resulted in failure. Failing to immediately stabilize or direct stabilization of the patient's head. Releasing manual head stabilization before the patient is secured to the device. Movement that could cause potential spinal compromise. This could result from rough handling during placement and securing of the device. Failing to properly maintain head stabilization when applying the cervical collar, resulting in excessive movement or failure to maintain the head in a neutral position. Failing to have the device positioned properly on the patient in order to minimize movement. Torso immobilization that inhibits chest rise, resulting in respiratory compromise. Immobilizing the head before the torso. Head is not in a neutral inline position upon completion of immobilization. And failing to reassess motor, sensory, and distal circulatory function.